Alright, Articuno, I believe in you. Take down this Aerodactyl and we'll get the world record. Go, 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 go. Articuno's about to win. Aerodactyl drops the ice beam. Aero does not have a rock move. That must mean I cannot lose. Yeah. Alright, double edge. Even a crit does not take Articuno out, which means Articuno, after a little bit of a delay, will connect on this Ice Beam and secure victory here. That is win number 113, which is the new Battle Factory Open Level Singles World Record. Alright, so after that totally not rehearsed opening, I can finally talk about what's going on right here. So yeah, we're playing Pokemon Emerald Battle Factory, Vanilla Battle Frontier post game. And currently we are on a streak of streaks. This is round 17 open level Battle Factory. And this is a post commentary because I posted my round 16 and then the first half of the round 17 battle battle 113. I posted that 3 months ago, but what ended up happening is my laptop was blowing up and I had to close everything down and reopen it so the emulator stopped freezing. But I lost my mic recording of it, but at least we still got the video footage, but I lost the mic audio, so I decided to do a post commentary for this. So to catch up, our draft round 17 was the following Pokemon. It was Sceptile 4, Blaziken 2, Dragonite 6, Articuno 6, Scizor 3, and Donphan 4. And I decided on Dragonite 6, Articuno 6, Donphan 4 as my Pokemon. Like, they barely together, they kind of cover enough weaknesses. Like, Sceptile 4 was definitely an option, but by choosing Sceptile 4, there was definitely more holes. Say, like, if I chose Sceptile 4, Dragonite 6, Donphan 4, for example, they all folded Ice move. So yeah, that's our team, Dragonite, Articuno, and Donphan. But yeah, we're going straight into it, man. Wasting no time. The Pokemon we ran into is Girrock, Ninetales Arrow. We didn't want any of those. So we're facing no type, high risk, high return this next battle. Zapdos Lead. So here we go. Dragonite versus Zapdos. What do we do here, man? We can go to the algorithm right quick. So no type, high risk, high return. And Zapdos Lead. Let's see what the algorithm has to say, man. It's gonna be kind of weird doing this post game, but I'm gonna try to treat it like it's live, even though I know exactly what happens. Oh wait. I gotta change it to round 8+. There we go. Okay, now things should be working properly. Let's see. Algorithm says it's most likely to be, of course, Zapdos 5 and 6. Those are the two Zapdoses with the high risk, high return move, both having double edge. And then they're saying remaining Pokemon are going to be like Ursaring, Regirock, Machamp. Well, actually, it literally can't be Regirock. Wait, oh yeah, that's something I didn't add actually. Okay, that's going to change the algorithm a little bit. We ran into Regirock, Ninetales, and Aerodactyl. Okay, yeah, that's going to change up the algorithm a little bit since we can't run into Regirock or Ninetales or whatever. So let's see what they say now. So yeah, Ursaring jumps up from like 5% to 6%. Then it's like Machamp, Snorlax, Fortress. Yeah. Basically what you see on the screen right there. 33% chance of Zapdos 5, 25% chance of Zapdos 6. As a whole though, Zapdos of course is a very threatening, very powerful Pokemon. But fortunately for me, I do have a Donphan. But let's not kid ourselves here. Zapdos still is going to get some quality chip on this Donphan. It has the Dropek. All of them have Dropek. And Dropek will do a good chunk. Rock Slide does not O-code any Zapdos, pretty sure. We can go to the calculator right now to prove it. None of the no Zapdos has bulk, but 31 IV Donphan versus 3 IV Zapdos. Doesn't matter which one. None of them have bulk. Rock Slide does 77 to 90. So yeah, Drill Peck is gonna do a good chunk. It's gonna do like around 35 to 45% on average, depending on which one it is. The strongest one would be Zapdos 2. That's the one with the max attack Drill Peck, big chip. Doing 20 to 24%. But let's take a look. See, Zapdos 5 and Zapdos 6 has double edge. But actually, wait, that's the same base power as Drill Peck though. The damage output should be quite the same, eh? Yeah, okay, so yeah, it really doesn't matter. Technically, it should just go for Drill Peck since double edge 6 needs more coil. But yeah, of course, the clear play here, we're going into Donphan right now. So here we go. Dragonite, that's enough. Come back. Go, Donphan. And it goes for Thunder Wave. So there we go. Of course, it's a no-brainer what we're doing. We're clicking the slider. Slider 2K is this. Double Edge is revealed. Thunder Wave Double Edge means this is Zapdos 5. A pretty good Pokemon. But yeah, we put that in our notes. Zapdos 5 wields which item? Scope Lens. Okay, Scope Lens is used up. Zapdos 5 reveal. Let's see what the algorithm has to say about the Zapdos 5 reveal. Okay, Ursaring, Snorlax. I mean, obvious crap. Nothing really you can take from there. But I mean, Zapdos 5, good Pokemon. But yeah, we need to take this thing down. Okay, goes for Drill Peck. No Scope Lens, no Scope Lens crit, which is good. Donphan still reasonably healthy. And we still got full health Dragonite, full health Articuno. We're gonna take Exeggutor second. Very interesting Pokemon. A Pokemon that actually is not really a problem here because, well, since it came out second, it's more likely to be one with a grass move. The only one that doesn't have a grass move is 2. In terms of like looking for high risk, high return moves, Exeggutor 3 and Exeggutor 4 have Explosion. So it's more likely 3 or 4. But both are totally fine here because we can go into Articuno here. Articuno is very, very safe. If it wants to, let's check it out though. Like Exeggutor 3, it does 215 hit points min, so it does see the kill with Giga Drain, so it will always Giga Drain. That means Exeggutor 4 for sure will always Giga Drain as well. Or I guess there's a small chance they explode. And also Exeggutor 1 would always Solar Beam here. So that's all good situation since Articuno has a very easy pivot into that. Doesn't have to worry about like Exeggutor or you going for Leaf Seed or Toxic or whatever. Of course, small chance of it being Exeggutor 2. Like, oh yeah, we didn't check the algorithm. Let's see what they say. The algorithm with Exeggutor as the second Pokemon is going to say saying 35% chance of Exeggutor 4 and 34% chance of 3, and then 1 being the least likely. And then they're saying like Ursaring, Tyranitar Lapras are the only Pokemon 3% or above, whatever. But yeah, Articuno is safe under all fronts, even if it's Exeggutor 2 and it goes for like Curse or Sleep Powder. Of course, Articuno is Chesto Berry. Articuno 6, I never really explained the sets if you're not familiar with them. Dragonite is just an all-out attacker, max special attack, max speed, modest, Shell Barrel. Dragon Claw, Flamethrower, Surf, Thunderbolt. Articuno is Resto Chesto, max attack, max special attack, Aerial Ace, Ice Beam, Reflect, Rest. And then Donphan, we saw Quick Claw, Earthquake, Fissure, Rock Slide, Iron Tail. So we saw the Exeggutor just go for Solar Beam there, charging up, which means Exeggutor 1 is revealed. Big reveal because One, that's a Quick Claw Mon out the way. Two, we're looking for a high risk, high return last. And also three, we can just OHKO this. They're like, there's some, you can question, there's an idea of like maybe sitting around and like getting a Reflect Up then killing it, but because of Executor 1 being Quick Claw, I can get a Quick Claw light screen up. So it's like, what's the point? So we just take it out. It does OHKO always. And then we run the Big Papa as the last Pokemon. Now Snorlax, a very threatening, very powerful Pokemon that can easily cause some issues. But what was big here is one, Executor did not have a high risk, high return move, which means this Snorlax is guaranteed a set out of the 8. There's 8 Snorlax sets. It has to be one with a high risk, high return move. But also, Executor 1 is Quick Claw, so that eliminates the Quick Claw sets, and there's a crap ton of Snorlax sets with Quick Claw. 3, 4, 5, 7. That's half the sets have Quick Claw. 4, 5, and 7 all also have a high risk, high return move. But so this it can only be 2 possible Snorlax sets then. It's either Snorlax 1 or Snorlax 6. So yeah, we're the algorithm is going to show this. But that's pretty good news because the curse sets could easily cause some problems. Now, this is great news for Articuno. Wow, Articuno matches up well versus both Snorlax 1 and Snorlax 6. Double team nonsense won't work out too well because I have the aerial ace to always hit, and I have Reflect to take less damage overall. And then Snorlax 6, same deal. I won't take too much damage from any of its attacks, especially when I get the Reflect up. So yeah, we're thinking about it. We're using the algorithm. We're looking, making sure we're not making any mistakes here. But the play here is the since we're very, very comfortable here, like Articuno, very, very low chance of losing to either Snorlax. The play here is just to get a screen open, because like 6 could counter, so you don't want to just blindly aerial ace immediately. So yeah, we're gonna Reflect here. The screen! And it reveals the double team, so Snorlax 1 is revealed. Now here, because I was incredibly comfortable in the position we were at, I figured it was fine scouting to see if this Snorlax actually has Thick Cut or not, because Snorlax, of course, very capable Pokemon, the Pokemon that has carried me all throughout this Battle Factory run. I've used Snorlax, I think, like 4 times. One of the ultimate glues in this facility. So I'm spamming Ice Beam. There's like very, very low chance for me to lose at this position. And we can tell by that Ice Beam damage that is indeed not Thick Fat Snorlax. It is immunity. So from here, we're just going to ace this thing down. But Reflect wears off here. And I'm in a rather awkward spot. There's definitely a bit of hesitation, even though heavily favored to come out on top here. The reason why there's hesitation here is that, let's look at the damage counts. Articuno 6 versus Snorlax 1 Facade Crit. Snorlax 7 Facade Crit does 206 min, so it's a very favorable roll to KO Articuno at the range it's at. So if I Reflect here and it crits me, I'm not in the best of positions because I did allow it to get 3 double teams up. And Donphan decently low. Although at least Donphan will be coming in with a Reflect up, so it's going to really take nothing. I'm going to have plenty of opportunities to fire off very strong Earthquakes. Earthquake will 2-hit KO for sure at the range it's at. So like, it's not the end of the world, but it was like, there's definitely hesitation, and I was trying to think if there was a way to outplay this situation, but I might take a little bit longer than you would think here, but I am gonna chance to Reflect here. I mean, there's no way of outplaying them getting the crit at the perfect time, because If I don't get crit here, I'm in great spot. I just get to rest. Rest would cover the a crit the next turn, and then I just ace. So I'm just trying to play it safe. I mean, we're not trying to lose here. We're not trying to choke the game away. And we're definitely gonna reflect here. But yeah, the Pokemon we ran into, it is guaranteed Snorlax 1. Zapdos 5, Executor 1, Snorlax 1. Zapdos 5 or Snorlax 1, good Pokemon. But yeah, we're putting some thought into this. But it's pretty cool that Articuno 6 is actually pulling some weight. I've never used Articuno 6 prior to this run, really. I always thought, like, on paper, just looking at the sets in general, that if you're going to use Articuno, this is the one to use. An open level exclusive. You will not see this Pokemon at level 50. Articuno 6. But, good overall bulk since it's perfect IVs. Rest Sponge is big. Aerial Ace versus Double Teamers, which is coming clutch here versus Snorlax 1, which, under normal circumstances, can easily cause some problems. But yeah, we're just playing it safe, really thinking if there was actually a way to outplay the Snorlax, getting the crit at the perfect time, but there really isn't. I will inevitably click reflect here. Also, like, facades, pressure, they only have 10 of them. But we're gonna take it out long before actually PP stalling. But yeah, we're gonna finally go for the reflect here. Supposedly, we'll see. Da 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 da. Ba 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 ba. Whoa. Nice Kanto team. Kanto. The screen. And we don't get crit here, which is great. Phenomenal. So we will rest here, since crit does take me out at that range. And if they got the crit there, if by resto chestoing up, I can just rest again. So they have to get like a crap ton of crits. So, yep, Articuno will heal back up. It will activate. It will use up his Chesto Berry. And, of course, this thing will continually facade. And now, we have the opportunity to just spam Aerial Ace. Ace. Da 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 da. Go. And there we go, critical hit. Speed up the process. There we go. My phone isn't working. And there we go, that's the second dub, man. That's win number 114. Excellent work, team. Okay. We ran into some good Pokemon like Zapdos 5, Snorlax 1. Those are good mons. But here we go. Electric is our next trainer. Specialist. Electric Specialist. High risk, high return. Electric, high risk, high return. So you gotta be thinking about, like, the only electric I'm pretty sure that activates high risk, high return by itself is Electrode 4. So you got your Electrode 4s, you got goofy, like, Focus Punch, Electabuzz. You got your, like, the one double-edged Raikou. Focus Punch Ampharos. Flail Lantern. Stuff like that. I mean, there's actually not that many electrics with high risk, high return moves. So, like, something like Jolteon, much rarer. Like, let's use the Algorithm, right? We shall use the Algorithm. And, see what they have to say. So, Electric Specialist, high risk, high return. So yeah, Electrode, very, very high chance of Electrode. They're saying 42% chance of an Electrode. Raikou, 30. Electabuzz, 24. Ampharos, 23. Raichu, 22. Lantern, 22. Jolteon, yeah. Electrics. Blah, 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 blah. Is that really all the Electrics, though? Is there really only 8 of them? Interesting if that's the case. I feel like there's more. But yeah. We can't run into Zapdos. So I guess it's a decision of do I want Zapdos, do I want Snorlax? And I probably thought about it for a while. But at the end of the day, I kind of like what Articuno was doing as a rest sponge. Its Aerial Ace was very clutch in that particular battle. The IV advantage. And then if Snorlax was thick fat, this was probably a much tougher decision. But because it isn't, I was totally fine of not swapping here. So I'm not sure how long I'll take. I might take a good while actually. Like I'm looking at the timeline. I might take a good while actually deciding on if I want Snorlax or not. Zapdos, of course, is an option as well, but Dragonite kind of... I prefer Dragonite, definitely. And then also Zapdos doesn't even match up well here. But it's gonna... That's one of Zapdos' few weaknesses. Zapdos does not match up well versus an electric type, when like all the other electric types can stalemate versus each other. I'm real curious of like my full reasoning of why I decided to no swap here. But I mean, it's not that crazy, I feel. I guess we'll just sing along this epic battle tower theme, man. Okay, no swap. Here we go. Finally, here we go. We're playing the Battle Factor. Yeah. Right this way, please. Eat my invincible attack you? Weird. Alana, weird. Alright, Electabuzz is here. But, okay, so Electabuzz. A potentially problematic Pokemon to see. Let's first look at the algorithm. So, according to the algorithm, with Electabuzz being the first, it is basically a 50-50 chance that it's Electabuzz 2. Makes sense, as Electabuzz 2 is the only one out the four with a high-risk, high-return move, that being Focus Punch. Thunder, Rain Dance, Attract, Focus Punch. But, we got an issue here, because there's a much more problematic Electabuzz set to worry about, and that's Electabuzz 3. We have the set on the calculator clearly. That set being Thunderbolt, Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Cross Chop. That is clearly going to do big damage versus my Dragonite. Let's check out the damage actually. Dragonite. Ice Punch does not OHKO actually, thanks to the IV advantage Dragonite has. Does 74 to 87. But Electabuzz is faster, unfortunately, and it will beat me before I can beat it. And then it's like, ah, crap. Donphan actually takes a lot as well from Ice Punch, so going hard Donphan on Ice Punch isn't a play. It takes 47 to 55. Now, one could ask if it's possible to like pivot into Articuno, like on an Ice Punch, and then it would Thunderbolt then, and then okay. Articuno only takes 15-18%. Then I get the safe switch into Donphan on a Thunderbolt, and we're good. But that only works out if it's Electabuzz, if it is Electabuzz 3. If it's not Electabuzz 3, the play is best for me to just stay in here. The worst case scenario, outside of Electabuzz 3 for the Dragonite stay-in option is Electabuzz 1 Thunder Waving my Dragonite, which would be a bummer. But let's take a look-see. Electabuzz 2 is the most likely one. Dragonite 6 is faster. No, it's not faster. Look at this. 3 IV Electabuzz 2 has 170 EVs in speed investment and hits 260. Max speed perfect IV Dragonite only hits 259. So Electabuzz 2 is faster. Gender-wise, they're the same gender, so we don't have to worry about a track. Electabuzz 1 and Electabuzz 4 are slower than Dragonite. But my play here, there's no reason to go for Dragon Claw because there's no reason to risk static. So we can go for Surf, we can go to Flamethrower, but it's best to Surf here because Electabuzz 2 is the most likely set anyways, and Electabuzz 2 can just Rain Dance. So if it Rain Dances, that weakens Flamethrower. Thus, if I stay in here, my only play is to Surf. It's the strongest move. We do outspeed and we connect on a Surf. So the fact that we outsped, and it's gonna go for Thunderbolt here, means that this well, we have to check on the Thunderbolt roll actually, but I'm pretty sure based off the Thunderbolt roll it has to be Electabuzz 4. Electabuzz 1 was heavily likely to go for Thunder Wave anyways. So yeah, we know it's Electabuzz 4. Electabuzz 4. Let me see, we're at 207. So we took 36%, yeah, 35 and 41. Yeah, it's guaranteed Electabuzz 4. Electabuzz 3 outsped with Ice Punch. 2 doesn't have Thunderbolt. So. Wait, actually, But, Surf Roll. No, Surf would have done less actually. So yeah, that is definitely Electabuzz 4. Because Surf versus Electabuzz 1 only does 44 to 52, and that's definitely more than that. So, the guaranteed Electabuzz 4. So, with the Electabuzz 4 reveal, we got some Pokemon to look out for. High risk, high return Pokemon are still on the lookout. And another Electric. So, Electrode rises up to 33% now. And then we got like Raikou, Raichu, and whatnot. But, Pokemon that activate high risk, high return by itself are definitely much higher. But this is great. This is a good situation for me, obviously, because I just outspeed and KO this thing with Surf. Electabuzz fainted. Second Pokemon will come out. We get a little Shell Bell recovery too, which is appreciated. We're on to Lantern second. So Lantern second, potentially problematic. There is a Lantern set with a high risk, high return move, that being Lantern 2. So technically, it would be most likely to be Lantern 2. Although, I mean, with Switch AI logic, we do have to worry about Lantern 4 possibility. Now, if it is Lantern 4, though, that means the last guaranteed activates high risk, high return all by itself. But according to the algorithm, 60% chance of Lantern 2. Now, Lantern, pretty scary Pokemon to see, honestly. Like, my last 2 mons do not appreciate seeing this mon as a whole. And then Lantern 4 is a monster threat because it OHKOs poor little Dragonite. Dragon Claw does good chill, but not only does it OHKO Dragonite, it outspeeds Donphan and will put a big chunk to it. So my play versus Lantern 4, I gotta get my chip. That's my only play as a whole. We do Dragon Claw here. And unfortunately for me, we get a little Shell Bell here, but it is indeed Lantern 4. Ice Beam connects. I know for sure, I think when I was talking about like electrics to worry about, I did talk about Lantern 4 in particular. I don't know how much I talked about Electabuzz 4, but I know for sure I talked about Lantern 4. We do run into this situation. So I kind of knew what to do. I I don't remember if I actually did calcs versus it, but I'm gonna go into Articuno here, and I'm gonna check the Ice Beam roll versus Lantern. So Articuno versus Lantern. Ice Beam does 25 to 30, and you can tell based on that damage that barely did half, over half. So we did just enough, get the necessary roll for 2 Ice Beams to KO this Lantern. But of course, we gotta also worry about high risk, high return. But Lantern 4 reveal, let's see what the algorithm has to say about this. It is guaranteed a Pokemon that activates high risk, high return all by itself. Moltres, of course, is the one that is going to be the most likely, as Moltres 6 sets, but half of them, Moltres 4, 5, and 6, activate high risk, high return all by itself. So naturally, it's the most likely Pokemon, which isn't good for me. Like, Fire type isn't great to see, but we gotta roll with what we got left. So yeah, I was probably entering everything in the algorithm first, and now I'm probably gonna do the damage calc of Articuno versus Lantern. No need, don't want to switch the strain yet, because we want to see, still want to see Lantern's HP. So yes, Articuno, as we saw, Articuno Ice Beam will KO this Lantern at the range it's at, and we also look at the Thunderbolt damage that we'll have to take in return, 55 to 65, good chunk, but we can potentially rest that off. Not the lowest of HP we can be. Like, we can be in the situation can be far, far worse than it actually is. So yeah. This Lantern is a problem. Bum, bum, bum. Dun, dun, dun. We will go Articuno here. And we'll click that Ice Beam, because a freeze is pointless because it's Lumberry. The crit would have been nice here. But it goes for Confuse Ray. Makes sense, since Thunderbolt doesn't KO, it's a 50-50 chance to go for Thunderbolt or Confuse Ray there. But Confuse Ray is good, because that means, one, I mean, I don't want to stay in with Articuno if I don't have to, because that means I'm risking confusion. But since it went for Confuse Ray there, it's guaranteed going to Thunderbolt me here, which means I can go Donphan for free. And overall, this is just a better situation, because now, like when we switch Articuno back in, we'll switch it back in on a Surf, and that's taking less overall damage than the Thunderbolt. So this is the best case scenario. But actually, Confuse Ray on the Donphan, this absolutely shocked me. So I was like, okay, whatever. We'll repeat the process back in the Donphan then, and then we go back in Articuno on an anticipated Surf. But this thing goes for Confuse Ray again. Very, very funny. Like this was absolutely shock to me when I was playing this live. I was like, why does it keep going for Confuse Ray? And I mean, there's a reason for this. The reason for this is that Surf actually does not OHKO Donphan, so they don't see the Surf kill. So it keeps going for Confuse Ray. Isn't that the 4th one? Note that these Confuse Rays are affected by pressure, so it only has 1 left. If it uses on Articuno one more time. So yeah, you can see below, I finally calced the Surf damage versus Donphan. So yeah, since it never saw the kill, there's a chance it actually went for Confuse Ray, and it went for it 4 times. Or 3 times. So yeah, we're going to go into Articuno again. This time, it will finally go for the Surf. And we take that damage. It does a good chunk. Big chip. But we will take out the Lantern with the Ice Beam. So the last Pokemon is a Pokemon that activates high risk, high return all by itself. And to no surprise, the battle background music It's quite fitting here. Regirock is the last Pokemon, and Regirock has 2 sets that activate high risk, high return all by itself. I ran into this in the first battle. It is going to be either Regirock 2 or Regirock 5, and this is pretty scary. Because both Regirock 2 and Regirock 5 wield the Quick Claw. And if it gets the Quick Claw Rock Slide on my Articuno, things are going to be real dicey. Let's review the Regirock sets. Regirock 2. Both Regirock 2 and Regirock 5 are max attack, max HP. Regirock 2 is Earthquake, Rock Slide, Counter, Explosion. Regirock 5 is Hyper Beam, Focus Punch, Rock Slide, Double Team. So, the issue here is that even though I got a Donphan supposedly would be favored to beat a Regirock, but Regirock 2 counter Mind Games plus Explosion possibility makes the situation much more dire if it gets the Quick Claw here. Now, if it doesn't get the Quick Claw here, I get the necessary damage for Donphan to take it out with Earthquake. Articuno Ice Beam plus Donphan Earthquake is enough to KO Regirock. But if they do get the Quick Claw here, we got to really think about this. There's a question of, is it a possibility, could I switch around this and like finesse over this Pokemon by a little switch action? And the answer is no, because of Regirock 5. Regirock 5 can just, well, I mean, they're always rock sliding here. That's not the problem, but when, say like if I'm trying to do a little switch action, I go into Donphan on a rock slide, but if I try to go back into Articuno, a Regirock 5 is probably gonna double team, and like, I don't want double teams up, because then I might just miss, and then it just beats me down with repeated focus punches. So, I don't want to risk that. So, we just gotta hope we don't get the Quick Claw. 80% of the time we're good, and as we see, we don't get the Quick Claw here. So, outside of a Hail Mary Quick Claw explosion from the heavens, Donphan will come in and take out this Regirock with Earthquake here. So, pretty scary last Mon situation there. But we do survive this battle, and that will be win number 115. Alright, 4th match is next. Skilled of the normal type. Free-spirited and unrestrained. So, Pokemon ran into some decent Pokemon. We still don't know what Regirock that is. It's either 2 or 5. Nothing was revealed. But normal specialist. Normal is interesting. Because, I mean, we ran into a Pokemon that would do well versus normals in Regirock. But of course, same deal as the first battle. We don't know which Regirock it is. It could be Regirock 5, which isn't as optimal. And also, we trust Donphan with his perfect IVs, very capable enough Pokemon. But we also ran into Lantern 4, and Lantern 4 is pretty darn good, man. Surf, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Confuse Ray, that's a quality set, max speed, good item, great coverage moves, a water Pokemon that can beat opposing waters reliably. The Confuse Ray out in emergency situations. This is clearly a very, very good Pokemon. Would match up, be a good pivot. Honestly, like, Lantern over Articuno is definitely an option here. Of course, we don't know what ability it is. Obviously, you always want Voltorb. So, it's a question of, really, I think the only thing to really think about is, do I want Lantern over Articuno? I think that's the only decent question. Decision to make here. But let's look into the algorithm. We're facing a normal, unrestrained style. I think the only normals that lack a high risk, high return move are Slacking and Porygon 2. So I think those are the most likely Pokemon, right? Slacking Snorlax too, besides, I mean, Snorlax and Earth Ring. That's only because they have 8 sets. But, Porygon 2 and Slacking are the 2 mons that are least likely gonna activate a phrase. Say like Clefable doesn't have a higher turn move either. But, of course, that one has a bunch of impossible to predict moves. But yeah, we do make our decision. We keep Articuno mostly because, I mean, Articuno has been pulling its weight, and then Reflect supposedly will be useful here. So we ran into Charizard versus Dragonite here. Charizard is our first. Charizard could potentially cause some problems here. Let's take a look-sees, man. Let's see what the algorithm has to say about a Charizard lead. So Charizard, this is not a normal type, so guaranteed 2 normals in the back. So Snorlax 32%, Slacking 24%, Ursaring 24%, Porygon 20%. But let's take a look at these Charizard sets, man. They all kind of do different things, and will come at you in different angles. So Charizard 1 versus Dragonite. Charizard 1 is Fire Blast, Sunny Day, Roar, Scary Face, and it will likely Sunny Day. Fire Blast doesn't do that much. None of the like Dragonite versus these Charizards, none of them have bulk, so they all do the same damage. Thunderbolt and Surf does 94 to 110, which means it OHKOs 62.5% chance of the time, so 5/8 of the time it OHKOs. Since Charizard 1 has Sunny Day, and it would be very likely to go for Sunny Day, the play is always to Thunderbolt here. Also, chance to pair would be nice as well. So no matter if the decision is to stay in with Dragonite, which it definitely is. My other 2 Pokemon hate seeing a fire, hate matching up versus a fire. The play is always to Thunderbolt here, but we got to look at what would Charizard do in return. What are the consequences depending on Charizard set. So if we don't get the roll versus Charizard 1, we put it in Blaze range, and if it goes for Sunny Day, which is very likely, a Blaze boosted Fire Blast under Sun, 60 to 70 monster chip. If it crits, Dragonite's getting OHKO'd, and then it's like, oh no, what do I do? Articuno, of course, is getting roasted. And Donphan gets OHKO'd as well. I literally lose if it hits all the Fire Blast afterwards, and it crits. If I get the low roll T-Bolt, the world famous Charizard 1 goes for Sunny Day, and then Fire Blast crits my Dragonite, and then hits the other 2 Fire Blasts. Game over. I lose. So not the best, but like, what else am I gonna do? So Charizard 2 is Dragon Dance, Aerial Ace, Earthquake. Not too scary. It is Bright Powder, so we got to hit through that, but it doesn't hit too hard at all. Charizard 3 though, that's the most worrisome one because that one has Dragon Claw. That one will do 30 to 35. Wait, no, I got the wrong mount out. No, it does 48 to 57, so it's like very, very favorable chance the 2-hit KO Dragonite here. Dragonite will get some Shell Bell recovery since Charizard's faster, but which would make like a near guaranteed Dragon Claw KO to like a 50-50 roll. But say like if Dragonite doesn't get the roll and gets 2-hit KO by Dragonite, it's going to be in Blaze range. Blaze Flamethrower, of course, is going to take out Articuno. Donphan barely lives, so I won't completely lose to it. It barely lives. Blaze does 81 to 95, so but obviously not the best of positions if that happens. And then Charizard 4 has Rock Slide, but I'm faster than Charizard 4, I think, because it's not max speed. Yeah, I'm faster than Charizard 4. So we just we 2-hit KO it before. Well, we can't even 2-hit KO this. It only does 32 to 38. But of course, our play is to Thunderbolt here. Ideally, we get the roll. And Charizard reveals Charizard 2. So it's Charizard 2 with the Dragon Dance. Let's see if we get the roll here. Thunderbolt connects through Bright Powder, and we get the roll, which is great. So Charizard 2 reveal. No Bright Powder Mons to worry about. Unrestrained is the quote. Snorlax 32% chance. Burst Ring 24%. Like, it's guaranteed normals. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 11 normals, it looks like. We run to the Plow. Now, I remember actually talking about Exploud as a whole. It's like, what are the most problematic normal types? And it's going to be like the ones with the special coverage. So I remember talking about Exploud 3 possibility. Since, due to switch mechanics, it is decently likely it is Exploud 3. With Exploud reveal, we do see 38% chance of Exploud 1 and then 21% chance. Like, really, like, Exploud 2 is the least likely. Well, Exploud 2 and 4 are the least likely. They both have higher start turn moves. So it's most likely 1 or 3. 1 would be great, because 1 is like a lousy hyper voice set that won't do much to this Dragonite at all. But of course, Exploud 3 will cause some problems since it has the Ice Beam. And Exploud 3 does... Let's see how much it does to Dragonite. It always OHKOs. 100 min. So... But, the real issue with Exploud 3 is that it's faster than my other 2 Pokemon. So my other 2 Pokemon will have to take a big hit after, to revenge this thing. So... But a somewhat nice thing here is that Overheat from Exploud 3 does a decent chunk to my Articuno, but because Overheat is a discouraged move and does not KO Articuno, it is less likely that they actually go for it. Thus, they'll go for the weaker Thunder Punch, which is preferred. But yeah, worst case scenario clearly is going to be Exploud 3, but we definitely want our damage here. Even if it is an Exploud, even with the Exploud 3 possibility, we have no way of outplaying it. Especially since we can't reliably predict it going for Overheat. Maybe it was a possibility we could have outplayed it if we could predict the Overheats, but since we can't, we clearly just want our damage here. And we're gonna go for our strongest move here, Dragon Claw. Ba-ba. Alright. Make sure we're not missing anything. But Exploud second, oh yeah, we didn't even talk about the possible last. 18% chance of Slacking. Slacking is technically most likely last, then Snorlax, and a bunch of others. Let's see, so here we go, Dragon Claw. Ba 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 ba. Da-da! Yeah. A lot of hesitation here. But we gotta be on top of our game. We gotta make sure we're not messing up anywhere. There's definitely attention to detail. But I will go for Dragon Claw here. That's a good chunk here. But unfortunately for me, it is Exploud 3. I am dropping here. Go on. Get him out of here. So Exploud 3 reveal. Let's see what the algorithm has to say. We will go Articuno. Now Slaking rises up to 21% chance now. But yeah, let's check out the Exploud 3 damage versus Articuno. I haven't really talked about that. It does 61 to 72, which is a lot, but since it's a discouraged move and doesn't see a KO, there's a chance it goes for Thunder Punch, which only does 33 to 39, which it actually does. It goes for the Thunder Punch, which is great for me, as long as there's no para. Which doesn't happen. We don't get a para, and we just go for Ace. Ace kills always, and might as well preserve our more valuable Ice Beam PP. Slaking is revealed as the last. Wider, so it can be any Slaking, pretty sure, right? The algorithm shows his worth. The most likely Pokemon did come out. It can be any Slaking. We have no info at this point in time. But we're not at the worst of situations. Let's take a look-see. Like Snorlax, Slaking. Say like Slaking 4. Slaking 4 is faster than me. All the Slakings are faster than me by 2 points. And it Thunderbolt does 164 max. So I will not drop to any Slaking attack except Slaking 2 Mega Kick. Slaking 2 Mega Kick does well, it's a roll to kill. It does 197 min, 232 max. So at the HP I'm at 202. So I drop very high chance I drop, 81% chance I drop. But the others, Slaking 1 is not a serious set, being Yawn, Bulk Up, Swagger, Aerial Ace. Slaking 2 is Mega Kick, Shadow Ball, Yawn, and what's the last move? Amnesia, yeah. And then Slaking 3 is Banded, Shadow Ball, Aerial Ace, Earthquake, Brick Break, and then Slaking 4 is Yawn, Elemental attacks. But of course, we need damage. But it goes for Mega Kick, and they get the roll. Favorable roll for them. Slaking 2. This is definitely like in terms of like if being in danger of losing the battle, the worst case scenario, because Donphan 4 takes a crap ton. 44 to 58 from Mega Kick. So if it crits me here, very low chance. So it has to get a high roll crit. A crit only OHKOs Donphan 25% of the time. So you got to hit the Mega Kick and then get a high roll crit. Otherwise, and then also don't get crit from me, or don't get Quick Clawed or whatever. So it's like Donphan, of course, heavily favored here. Scary. Another last mon versus last mon situation. Always scary when it's like, dang, you actually have a chance to lose. But of course, I'm definitely favored to win this here. If it goes for any other move, it doesn't matter. Yawn doesn't help him because Earthquake, 3-hit KOs. So them yawning here won't be enough, which they actually do. They go for Yawn, but Earthquake does 2-hit KO this, so the Yawn magic will not help them here. And we do take him out. Nice Quick Claw to secure the bag, and that's win number 116. Nice. So okay, cool. So yeah, we ran into. Okay, wait. Psychic Specialist, and Free Spirit and Unrestrained. This is not a good quote to see. This is the scariest quote in all the Battle Factor. But the Pokemon we ran into. We ran into Charizard 2, Exploud 3, Slaking 2. But we got some decisions to make here. Of course, we've been rolling with the IVs, maybe a little bit stubborn with it, but now we really got to think, because Psychic Unrestrained is the scariest quote in all the Battle Factor. Now we gotta worry about Lottie. Now we gotta worry about Metagross. Normally, yeah, you do think about them, but you don't usually have to think about them on the same team. But now, when you see such a quote, now you do. Since Lottie's, Metagross, these are Pokemon that don't activate too many quotes outs, or really at all, any phrases. So these are going to be your most likely Pokemon. Let's check out the algorithm, man. Psychic, Unrestrained. Literally, Latios. There's a 40% chance we are running into either Latios or Latias. So clearly we need to think about them. And then Metagross on its own is 21% chance. So there's some potential monster threats we gotta worry about. But of course we gotta account for the worst case scenario. When I think Psychic's Unrestrained, I'm thinking, can we beat the combination of Lottie plus Metagross? We don't have a Houndoom to bail us out. We don't have a Heracross to bail us out. We gotta think. We gotta be resourceful with what they gave us. So let's really think about this for a second. So Dragonite 6. A nice thing about Dragonite 6 is that it's max speed, which means it outspeeds every Lottie except Lottie 8. But Lottie 8 cannot hit Dragonite too hard. That's good news, since it'll get a good hit in, or it can pick off a weakened one later. It also has the flamethrower coverage, the chunk Metagross hard. So like Dragonite versus the absolute scariest Psychics of Lottie plus Metagross will match up nicely here. But let's look at our other two Pokemon. Articuno is a complete liability versus Metagross. That's a huge problem and something we really got to think about. Not only that, let's look at how Articuno fares versus a Lottie. So, Latios 1 versus Perfect IV Articuno. Articuno is a very bulky Pokemon. Base 90 HP, base 100 defense, base 125 speed def. However, this Articuno set lacks any bulk. I think only Articuno set that actually has bulk is Articuno 2. So the lack of bulk, even with an IV advantage, it's taking too much from Lottie Thunderbolt. Lottie Thunderbolt, Latios 1 Thunderbolt is 54 to 64. Latios 2 Thunderbolts, 49 to 58. So if it's a Latios with a Thunderbolt, Articuno is losing the 1v1. It's slower and it gets 2 KO. Latios 1 Thunderbolt, 48 to 56. Yes, it's just outright losing. If it had a little bit more bulk, it can win the 1v1 versus every versus every Lottie, but it's gonna lose to the Thunderbolt variants. Which is, so you got a Pokemon that's actually a complete liability versus every Metagross, and versus the best of the best Lotties it loses to. So this is the question of the hour. Donphan is our only physical attacker. Will be okay versus a Metagross. Say like, could 1v1 a Metagross. I'm curious how Donphan actually fares versus Metagross. We can look at that. Of course, Donphan's not beating a Lottie. Donphan. Yeah, Donphan has a chance to just straight up OHKO every Metagross. Well, it guarantee OHKO is the ones with no bulk, but the 170 HP ones, it's 75% chance. So yeah, Donphan great versus Lottie, which is all I can ask for. Like this should not be a Donphan game, but we need Donphan to take on any physical attackers. Get Chip on Regice, it'll do a lot. Maybe even fish for a flinch versus it. But of course, we'll match up well versus a Blissey. We'll match up well versus a Snorlax. We need Donphan for sure. So the question is, since Articuno, complete liability versus Metagross, will be a liability versus a Lottie. Well, not necessarily. Like, this is something I realized when deciding my choice here. It's not only like normally I do always think about when Psychic Unrestrained is the quote in No Man's Land. I'm always thinking Lottie plus Metagross, but it's not just Lottie plus Metagross that's the issue here. Especially based on how my team is built right now. The order that they come out is also an issue with what I have, cause if I run into Metagross Lead, Dragonite 1v1s every Metagross outside of bogus hacks. Even like even the ones with Ice Punch, it lives. Like, let's look at a count. Dragonite 6 versus Metagross 7. Ice Punch 74 to 87. I think Metagross 6 has the same amount of investment. So outside of nonsense, a crit, freeze from Ice Punch, Quick Claw. Dragonite 1v1s every Metagross. So if I run into Metagross Lead, that's very good. If they send out Lottie second, because I'll get the hit off of it. To where, even though Articuno in a pure 1v1 where both Lottie and Articuno are at full HP would lose if it's Thunderbolts, it can pick off a weakened one. It can tank one T-Ball and then pick it off with the Ice Beam. So that's actually a good situation for me. However, if the situation is flipped and I run into Lottie first, then things are much more dicey, because what do? I can't just go hard Articuno, because Articuno is just going to take too much. Could I? I probably could, actually. That probably was an idea. I could have maybe versus a Lottie Lead. I actually do go hard Articuno, and then Articuno lives Dragon Claw into Thunderbolt. Wait, let me see. Does it actually live that? Because it might not. Thunderbolt and the Dragon Claw. Oh no, that could, well, yeah, that has a chance to kill, actually. Yeah, I probably thought about that too. If that was an out. Like if I ran into Lottie Lead, I can go into a hard Articuno, but Articuno has a chance to drop to Dragon Claw plus Thunderbolt. So that's very, 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 very dicey. Like total wise, it does 88% to 104. Like that's too risky. And then of course it gets like, yeah, that's not desirable, actually. But another thing that actually scared me here is not just the combination of Lottie plus Metagross. Like, of course, those aren't the only two Psychics to worry about. Another Mon that would actually put me into a body bag beatdown is Starmie. Now, normally I don't think about God Starmie. Like, you can't just naturally expect to have a team that always covers God Starmie. That's a one-of-a-kind Pokemon. 5-10 sets total in open level factory. There's no Pokemon that matches the threat level of a Starmie. Not even Lottie, because Starmie has the water coverage and it has the speed to make something like, say, like Arcanine, Houndoom, reasonably good Lottie counterplay and whatnot. There's like the Lottie's being no speed is huge, because there's a lot of Pokemon, say like my Dragonite's Clutch here, being max speed, perfect IV, max speed Dragonite outspeeds the no speed Lotties. But Starmie being max speed means it's outsped and gets O-code by his bane. So, but it wasn't just God Starmie that actually shook me here. It was Starmie 4 actually as well, and to a lesser degree Starmie 7. I would not appreciate seeing either of those two as well. So, what do I do then? I mean, the Pokemon we ran into last battle were Charizard, Explode, Slacking. So, Charizard isn't going to help a Starmie matchup. It's slower. It can't even hit that hard because it has lower overall attack. Explode, I'm not really the biggest of Explode fans. Maybe I have a little bit of a different opinion of it now, but definitely back then when I did this, I was definitely not considering Explode 3, especially this late into the streak. Like, I'm only going to be trusting Pokemon I know for sure can do a thing or two. So, a Pokemon I thought about was Slacking. Slacking matches up well versus like all the Psychics bar Metagross. So I really put a lot of thought into it, and like Slacking will match up well versus a Starmie. Slacking 2. Slacking 2 versus Starmie. Shadow Ball does 99 min. And then, like, I mean, Slacking will do well versus a Lottie. Like, Slacking literally matches up well versus every Psychic type Barb Metagross, but Donphan and Dragonite will match up well versus Metagross. So there's my logic there. I'm actually going to decide on swapping Articuno out for Slacking. Still more hesitation here. I took a lot of time here, and maybe I did talk enough about it. Let's see. Oh, I did. Wow. Okay, I did a good job timing-wise. I was just kind of rambling on, but I think I explained my thought process well on why the scary parts about this battle and why I decided to choose Slacking over Articuno here. But here we go, man. Psychic Unrestrained, and we run into Metagross Lead. Here it is. Oh boy, the worst case scenario is here. But like I said, Metagross Lead is quite preferable outside of complete nonsense. As we 1v1. And then if they send out a Lottie second, we get the hit off. Unless if it's a Lottie 8. Lottie 8 would outspeed, and depending on which depending on which Metagross it is, it may pick me off. But yeah, Metagross here, scary Pokemon. But let's go to the algorithm right quick, man. We did actually choose. We did actually swap out Slacking. We don't need to add that yet. But Metagross is indeed the first Pokemon we see. 26% chance of running into a Lottie. Between all the sets, Metagross 7 always tends to be, I'm doing this algorithm a bunch of times, Metagross 7 always tends to be the most likely, but all the Metagross is very, very high, like the lowest chance is Metagross 1 technically, apparently, with 8%, but like, I mean 8 to 17%, it could be any Metagross it wants to be, man. But, clearly, we gotta go for Flamethrower to get our big chip. And hope things go our way. But yeah, I showed the Ice Punch damage versus Dragonite. It does. It does 74 to 87. That does a lot of. That is good damage. Like the Meteor Mash ones, Mash does 52 to 62. Big chip. But like the Quick Claw one versus the Explosion Metagross 5 and 8 would be pretty bad, because then it would be like they get the Quick Claw second turn to take out Dragonite, and then they explode on Donphan. Like, dang, that's clearly like I lose, huh? I gotta rely on Slacking to beat 2 Pokemon. That's clearly not the move. Clearly not the best position. So like we really don't want to get hacked here. But there's only one play here. We gotta go for the flamethrower. Like, the only other option there was actually considering switching into Donphan, but Donphan takes too much. Like, I didn't really talk about Donphan, the Donphan switch. Because, like, one, I mean, they can just get the mash raise, and then if they get the mash raise, 2 mashes will take out Donphan. But then, like, of course, Metagross 6, mash and Ice Punch. Doesn't kill, but it's really the fear of the mass raise. This is why Metagross is so freaking good. It's a freaking Metagross. You can't just switch around Metagross. It's such a unique aspect. There's a lot of Pokemon you can switch around in this facility, but Metagross is one of the few that you literally can't. Mostly because the fear of giving it a mash raise. You just gotta play honest and attack what's in front of you. So we're just looking around. We're just thinking about worst case scenarios. If things don't go my way here. But there's only one play here. We gotta go for the flamethrower. That hot fire. It does not KO any Metagross. The full bulk ones, they take. Oh, I mean, very small chance they OHKO the no bulk ones. 25% chance, 87 to 103. But of course, the ones with bulk, which I think 6 of them have bulk. Or actually, no, I think it's only 5. I think Metagross 4, 6, and 7 are the ones that are max attack, max special attack, and the other 5 are a third in HP. So scary situation, man. It's a freaking Metagross. What you expect? Flamethrower. Ice Punch is revealed, so it's Metagross 6 or 7. We don't drop. We don't get a freeze. We don't get frozen. We don't get crit, and Shell Bell is revealed. So the most likely option, the most likely possibility of Metagross 7 is revealed. Metagross 7 is the worst Metagross, easily. Like, this Pokemon's a little embarrassing. Because, like, Earthquake's good, but, like, it's a Metagross that, like, loses to Regice. No Mash is kind of bad. At least 5 has, like, Explosion, and has Rock Slide to still hit Regice. But, okay, we take out the Metagross. We get, critical Shell Bell recovery. And we run into the worst case scenario. All that preparation, all that time we took worrying about the Metagross Lottie combat comes into play here. We do run into Metagross plus Latias. So, here's the rundown. Metagross 7 made it like a 24% chance we ran into a Lottie of some sorts. It is Latias. We are faster than every Latias except Latias 8. Latias 8 is faster than me. Latias 8 hits 270 to my 259. But if it isn't Latias 8, we get a good hit with Dragon Claw off. And then Slacking will be in prime position to revenge with Shadow Ball. However, if it's Latias 8, not the best of situations, isn't it? This is like a situation where if I still had Articuno, I would be in a better spot. But still, the fear of Starmie. I don't regret this decision at all. Of choosing Slacking, but we're gonna go for Dragon Claw. 7 out the 8 sets, we are faster. But it outspeeds me and goes for Psychic, so there's only 2 scenarios here. It's either Latias 8, much more likely, or it's Latias 2 and it got the Quick Claw. So, Latias 8, definitely a bummer. I definitely would have preferred getting the damage, obviously, because Slacking does not OHKO this. And now we're in a little bit of a sketchy situation, because this Latias does not 3 KO my Slacking. However, Psychic has a nasty side effect, doesn't it? 10% chance of dropping my Spadef, and then it'll have a chance. It'll have 3 chances to crit me. If it gets a crit in any situation, Slacking loses the 1v1 as well. Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball does 81 to 95, doesn't kill. Mega Kick actually has a chance to KO. 43.8% chance to OHKO. But there's no need. Well, it's just far too risky, because like if we miss there, like that puts us in a completely awful position. So, and Yawn's an interesting option, but Yawn doesn't really help me, because like if they get the 2-turn Wake, I'm in an overall worse spot. So Amnesia doesn't help either, because they can just that's just giving it more opportunities to Spadef drop me and crit me. So the best odds was just hoping they don't get the Spadef drop or a crit. It's gonna fire off 3 Psychics. It does not 3 KO me. So I'll have to tank 3 Psychics and then Revenge, which 2 Shadow Balls will take it out. We can get a crit here as well, which would be huge. And also, I guess technically we still don't even know what Lottie this is. It still can technically be 2, which hits a little harder. Lottie 2. Yeah, Lottie 2 would be really bad actually. Because Lottie 2 actually 3 KO Slacking 41% of the time. But based on that damage, it actually is Latias 8. It did 275, so that put so that did 34%. But fortunately, it does use 3 Psychics. No Spadef drop is great. So okay, we took out the most threatening Pokemon, so we should be in prime. Now, I want to say that we were supposedly in prime position to take on the last, since we took out supposedly the most threatening Pokemon. But no, this trainer had more sinister plans. They had a freaking Suicune as their last. Look at their team, man. They had Metagross, Latias, Suicune, and my last is a freaking Donphan. Yeah, this is not looking good. And I don't really have a play here. Like, what am I going to do? Go hard Donphan? Clearly, all I can do here is sit and loaf around and hope and pray it's a Suicune I can somehow beat. I'm not going to waste too much time here. I'm gonna click fight and click loaf and loaf around. Because there's not much to think about. We just got to hope for the best here. But clearly, this is not good. An insane team by the opponent. One of the most insane teams I've ever seen playing in my years of playing the Battle Factory. Well, what the heck am I supposed to do, man? I gotta loaf around. So I loaf. And the dive is revealed. So, okay. Let's go into more detail on what happened here. So, Suicune as their last, as a whole, if I actually had more lines, more actual decisions to make here, this would be a much more interesting situation, because given what we saw by the switch logic, it actually was guaranteed not a Suicune with Ice Beam, because they sound out Latias 8 second. And since it's not an Ice Beam Suicune, it's guaranteed either Suicune 1 or 2. Now, Suicune 1 would have been awful. Suicune 1 would have just outsped OHKO'd my Slacking, and it's like very high chance to OHKO Donphan. Like, let's look at the roll. With Suicune 1. Suicune 1 does 94 to 111 versus Donphan, so I would need the Quick Claw Fissure Hail Mary of Hail Marys to take out Suicune 2. But I mean, not Suicune 2 to take out Suicune 1, but it actually is Suicune 2, so. But a bigger thing here is that they actually went for Dive. because they saw the dive kill. Dive had a chance to kill at the range Slacking was at. Huge, absolutely huge, because otherwise, if they didn't see the dive kill, they would be going for double team. And since I got a lousy Slacking that's going to be loafing around every return, this Suicune would be getting free double teams. And also, Suicune 2 is the following set. Double team, protect, toxic, dive. Okay, it can also potentially protect on the turn I try to attack. So it's huge that it's actually Suicune 2. This is the best case scenario. This is the one Suicune I actually had a decent chance of beating. Technically, I had a slightly higher chance of beating the Suicune 6 as well compared to the others, since Donphan actually lives a Suicune 6 surf. But let's worry about Suicune 2 right now. Suicune 2 is going for dive. Dive, thanks to the leftovers, actually does not KO. But of course, Slacking is faster than this. And I get to use a move here. So since this thing's underwater, I only have one move to use. And that's Amnesia, so might as well use it. But let's think about this now. Suicune 2 is who we gotta take on. Now, even though this is the Suicune we're most likely we have the best chance of defeating, it's still an uphill battle. Because Suicune 2 being that very defensive set with double team leftovers, there's no way of me PP stalling this. So it goes for dive, it does nothing. But yeah, there's no way of PP stalling this thing at all. And I have Donphan with the fissure. But thanks to pressure, I only have 3 fissures. But not only that, the Suicune has protect, so it can potentially block a fissure or 2. So I need to put myself in the best possible position to safely fire off the 3 fissures. And clearly, I'm looking at the move that's gonna give me the best chance. We gotta click Yawn. We definitely gotta click Yawn like right now, because it's about to double team up with Storms. And so if we don't hit our Yawn now, we're gonna miss them all. Mega Kick doesn't do enough. Shadow Ball is pointless. Like, this is our only play. I'm just thinking about if there was a possibility of actually PP stalling this, and there really isn't, because like Slacking does have leftovers, but like, what is Slacking gonna do? Was there really an out? Let's really think about it. I guess it would have to be a situation where I would have to let I guess maybe there was a small chance. I guess it would have to be a situation where I would have to sack Donphan, and Slacking would have to beat this, and then it would be like a battle that would take 10 hours. Probably that's like, well, I don't know. Maybe struggle from Slacking does a lot. So Slacking probably wins. Well, I don't know how much struggle does versus does to Slacking. Maybe it just does too much, and it doesn't gain enough leftovers, and then maybe Suicune just gets a few crits. So it's like, it's heavily not in my favor to PP stall this Suicune 2. So we just got to put ourselves in the best possible position for Donphan to fire off the 3 fissures, which is staying in and clicking Yawn. But it is kind of interesting, because it's like I would have to let Donphan take the toxic and tank all the toxics, and then let Slacking tank all the dives. Although I don't know, would Slacking even take the dives that well? It might take too much, but that's not very important. See, it's good that they use protect there on the turn I loafed. But yeah, I'm gonna Yawn here. We get the fast Yawn. We do connect on the Yawn, and it's double teaming up a Storm, but the double teams are a little pointless now. Double team will not affect the accuracy of Fissure. Fissure remains 30%. But this is our one opening. We got to go into Donphan right now on a turn that is about to fall asleep. And we got 3 chances to hit a Fissure. So here we go. Donphan is in the battlefield. Here we go, man. We gotta hit a fissure. Suicune falls asleep. Here we go. No hesitation. We gotta click the move. Fissure. Okay, we missed. That's okay. We got 2 more opportunities. The quick low fissure. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. Man, I was probably going crazy, man. This is probably like the main part that I was like, dang, I don't have the live reaction of this moment. I can't fake this. Like, Donphan did it, man. Donphan 1v1 a Suicune. A crazy moment. Crazy Battle Factory moment. Insane team by the opponent. Metagross, Latias, Suicune. Nice try-hard Battle Tower build. And I somehow was able to finesse with the Donphan Fissure. Donphan complete, absolute MVP in this run. Clutched out 3 battles as the last Pokemon, man. Donphan doing great things in this one. My goodness. This is definitely one of the craziest moments I've ever had playing the factory. Like, wow. Excellent work. Now, if I missed all the fissures, it was gonna be dire. Cause like Earthquake doesn't even do that much versus the Suicune. It does. Suicune 2 takes 40 to 47, but it got a couple of double teams under the belt too, and only have 5 Earthquakes. So it definitely would have been really bad. If we missed all 3, but fortunately we connect here. But we ran into 3 really good Pokemon, didn't we? Latias, Metagross, Suicune. Now, I didn't waste any time here. I knew exactly who I wanted, man. I knew exactly who I wanted. Metagross, good Pokemon, but Metagross 7 is the worst Metagross of them all. Latias 8, not too bad. I'm actually a Latias 8 fan. Haters may say Latias 8 is bad, but this is not Latias 8 time. And another time we may talk about the pros of Latias 8. But clearly, there's one Pokemon I want. There's one Pokemon that I need. Slacking 2 clutched up. Did not get Spadef drop. Did not get crit versus that Latias. I needed its services to take that mon down. So Slacking 2 did great things here. A little unfortunate because Articuno actually would have been perfect in this battle, but it's fine. We emerged victorious, and I'm gonna snatch out that Suicune too. So next trainer though. Next trainer, the quote was no type, no phrase, high risk, well actually no, not no phrase, no type, high risk, high return. So we can go to the algorithm. Most likely Pokemon we're gonna see. The algorithm taking its sweet time. So they're saying like Machamp, Ursaring, Moltres, you know the usuals, the usual high risk, high return culprits. But yeah, man, Suicune 2, one of the best Pokemon in all the Battle Factory. In this run, I've used all the best Suicune sets. Well, I've used 2 of the best. I've used Suicune 6. I've used Suicune 1, and they put the team on their back. And I save state here because I haven't been save stating. And that was a crazy moment. Like, I don't want the laptop to blow up after this predicament. But yeah, we're gonna swap Slacking here for Suicune 2. Oh, not Metagross. No. Suicune 2. Suicune 2 can solo sometimes. Yes, it can solo sometimes, man. That's a Cloyster 2's dad. So, Expert Miranda would like to battle here. And we run to Venusaur first. Venusaur, interesting Pokemon if I do so myself. Venusaur. According to the algorithm of Venusaur sighting, it is most likely going to be 50% chance of Venusaur 3, making sense, because since Venusaur 3 is the only one that activates a high risk, high return move with Double Edge. Double Edge, Sludge Bomb, Earthquake, Sleep Powder. But that is actually the worst case scenario, because Sleep Powder Mind Games is not a situation I would like to see here. This is also a Pokemon that Suicune will not match up well versus in general. So now, as a whole, if it isn't Venusaur 3, that's actually super preferred, because Venusaur 1 also has Sleep Powder, but it's Giga Drain only attack, complete unthreat. Same with Venusaur 2, it can Leech Seed, it can Giga Drain, but it's not going to be doing too much. We can just Flamethrower it down. And in Venusaur 4, they can Sludge Bomb, they can Sunny Day. Like, who cares? Not a problem. So really, it's only Venusaur 3, them going for Sleep Powder, and then Dragonite falling asleep for an unfortunate amount of turns. Venusaur 3 also is Scope Land, so it can get some Sludge Bomb crit actions, so it's somewhat likely it can 1v1 if it actually Sleep Powders here. So yeah, Sleep, like, I have no way of outplaying the Sleep. Articuno, where are you? But we just gotta hope for the best. Like, if it doesn't Sleep Powder here, we're in prime position. We'll be in a great spot. But Flamethrower, I mean, Flamethrower is the move here. Two of them have Sunny Day, so I might as well Flame. Actually, was Flame the move here? Was Ice Beam better? Ice Beam might have been better, because Ice Beam had the chance to freeze. And if I got the freeze, I got the free turn. A burn doesn't really help me. I would actually prefer the free turn here. Maybe Ice Beam was actually better here. I don't remember what I did. I think I Flamethrower. But Ice Beam's actually better, huh? Oh wait, no, I'm not even Ice Beam. Never mind. Dragon Claw, Thunderbolt, Surf, Flamethrower. Okay, never mind. Okay, yeah. So yeah, of course, yeah, the move is the Flamethrower here. And hope that Venusaur 3 doesn't Sleep Powder me. Or we dodge. We can, of course, dodge too. Sleep Powder 75% accurate. But yeah, we're in Battle 6 right now. So yeah, this is Battle 118. No type, high risk, high return. But with a Venusaur sighting, Ursaring 5%, Girrock 5%, Moltres, like your usual high risk, high return. Like the thing with high risk, high return, you're not gonna get much info. But we will go for the Flamethrower. I got that 9-2 Flamethrower, man. Dun-dun! Flamethrower. We connect. In the case it was Venusaur 2. But it goes for Sludge Bomb. We don't really care. That was likely Venusaur 1, Venusaur 3. It could have been Venusaur 4. Let me see. But either way, we're fortunate that it didn't Sleep Powder. Going to the calculator, checking the damage output, trying to ensure that it's Venusaur 4. Because what, Venusaur, well actually, is Venusaur 3 and Venusaur 4 have the same investment? Now Venusaur 3 is a little bit stronger, but we run into Espeon second. Now Espeon is a pretty scary Pokemon to see at this predicament. If we think about the Pokemon in the back, it's a Pokemon that activates high risk, high return. But also, just Espeon as a whole is a problem, because it's another Mon that Suicune does not match up well versus. Because Espeon outright smashes, Espeon 2 smashes Suicune 2, since it has Resto Chesto and will be able to heal off the Toxic. And then when I Toxic hit, Synchronize, I'm going to get poisoned in return. That's a problem in general with the Espeons. But also, Espeon 1 and Espeon 3 have the Bright Powder. And then Espeon 4 just hits way too freaking hard. It gets Calm Mind, and then, yeah, with a Calm Mind or two, it's just going to blow up Suicune as well. Like, Espeon 4 is incredibly scary at this, with the Mons I have currently. I don't drop the Psychic here. But let's take a look-sees, man. First, we'll go to the algorithm. Espeon. We know it's either Venusaur 3 or 4. And we know it's Espeon. I guess we knew by the damage that it had to be. Oh no, actually no, we don't know by the damage. Okay, so it really could be any Espeon. But let's take a look at Espeon versus Dragonite. The issue is, like, the Espeons are faster than Dragonite. They have good spit out, so they're not taking that much from Dragonclaw. Psychic does a lot. Dragonclaw only does 58 to 69 versus the fully offensive ones. If it Calm Minds first, then it only does 39 to 46. But if it Calm Minds, Psychic will, very high chance they'll see the KO with Psychic, as it does 224 min. So at 229, it would KO 7/8 of the time. But then I would have to go Donphan. Donphan barely lives +1 Psychic for Espeon 4. Well, actually, no, it has a chance to drop straight up. It does 88 to 103. And also Donphan, Donphan was female, I think. So I have to worry about Attract Mind games too. Like, Espeon 4 is so scary because Suicune straight up loses. So it does go for Calm Mind here. I won't know which one it is. Well, actually, I would. Well, I know it's not. Based on that damage, it's not Espeon 1. Espeon 1 would have taken less. So I know it's not Espeon 1. Now, I got a little Shell Bell recovery. So with the Shell Bell recovery, that changes things a bit. At 242 HP, it's now like a 50-50 roll. However, if it Calm Minds again, like, oh my gosh, like Calm Mind again is like so bad, because it would get the kill. If it's Espeon 4, it would get the kill with Dragonite here, and then Donphan drops guaranteed to +2 Espeon. So that means I would have to go Suicune. And then Suicune 2 wouldn't drop though. So I would have to go Suicune 2 and then get the Toxic off and then Protect. But Suicune 2 would be severely weakened. It wouldn't be that bad, because at least Espeon 4 isn't Lumberry. So the Toxic, as long as I hit, which we do have to hit through Bright Powder, as long as we hit, we would put it low enough to where I would have to put the entire game on Donphan. But maybe Suicune could barely survive in that situation. But it actually crit my Dragonite there, which definitely mattered, especially if it was Espeon 2. That greatly mattered if it was Espeon 2. But I had to go. If they get the Psychic roll as Espeon 4, but it's actually not Espeon 4 because based on that damage. It's Espeon 2, because Espeon 4 would have done more than that. I'm at 105 HP. 105 HP. Espeon 4 does 88 min, and I'm at 27%, so that's guaranteed Espeon 2. So that crit on Donphan actually mattered big time, because what would happen if Dragonite didn't get crit is I would have gotten another Dragon Claw off. They would have Psychic, and then they would have seen a Psychic kill, so they would have Psychic again. But then I go Donphan, +2 Psychic from Espeon 2 does not KO. Well, no, +1 Psychic from Espeon 2 does not KO Donphan ever. So they would always rest on Donphan because Espeon 2 is no special attack. So Donphan would have taken no damage, and Earthquake Oko's Espeon. So Donphan would have taken no damage. So that crit definitely make things a little dicier as we run into our last Pokemon, Swampert. We won't get too much info here. We know it's Espeon 2, but Swampert last. Swampert is a Pokemon where every one of their sets have a high risk, high return move, so we're really not going to get any info on what Swampert this is. It's slightly more likely that it's Swampert 2 though, since Swampert 2 activates high risk, high return by itself, and we don't know 100% if that Venusaur was Venusaur 3 or Venusaur 4. So, but as a whole, even though Suicune 2 actually was a complete liability versus the first two Pokemon, it's going to match up very, very well versus Swampert 3, well, versus all the Swamperts here. Outside of Swampert 1 can be a little dicey because it can curse up, fire off boosted Earthquakes. Although even then, I can still finesse. If Suicune gets some double teams up, I can protect, I can dive on a couple of Earthquakes. They only got 5 of them. So even then, like, it's heavily favored for Suicune to win this here. So, but we're just, I'm just taking the time out. I know this now, because this is post-commentary. Live, I don't 100% know this. I'm trying to figure it out on the fly. So, if it's Suicune, if it's Swampert 2, 3, or 4, they would go for, some will see an Earthquake kill. Earthquake's like a roll, I think. If they got the water move though, of course, they can go for the water move. But because since some of the Earthquakes actually have a chance to kill, it isn't always the best play to say, like, considering going hard Suicune expecting the water move. That isn't exactly like 100% the play. But also as a whole, it's not bad just staying in here and getting the damage. Because if I get the damage, that means less chances for the Swampert to get like a quadrillion crits on my Suicune. So we just get our damage here. Earthquake does a good chunk. Surf is revealed. And Shell Bell is not revealed, so it's guaranteed Swampert 2. So Swampert 2 reveal means we still don't know if the Venusaur was Venusaur 3 or 4. But this Pokemon cannot defeat me. We just toxic this thing, we double team up, we protect, we do whatever. And of course, Swampert 2 is such a unique Pokemon as it likes to spam Mirror Code counter anyways, due to how the AI operates. It's the only Pokemon in the factory that has both counter and Mirror Code in the same set. But Suicune 2 clutches up here despite being practically useless versus the first two mons. A rare instance of Suicune 2 being a liability. But there we go, that's battle 118, emerging victorious. We got one more battle to get through. Now, when I played this live, I played 2 rounds. This was the second round I played. I played round 16 prior, and that was a 4-hour round. So like, we're approaching 2 hours here. So like, dang, I'm definitely getting fatigued. I was probably like, I had a higher sense of urgency to wrap this battle up. Now the Pokemon we ran into, Venusaur, Espeon, Swampert, not Espeon 2, Swampert 2 are not bad Pokemon, but surely I'm gonna want keep the team I have, and I'm ready to wrap this one up. Clearly, wasted no time, and said easy no swap here. And here we go, final battle, man, of this round. Raikou is the first Pokemon. The quote was no type high risk high return. Let me see, with Suicune and Donphan. For no type high risk high return, most likely Pokemon are your usual culprits, your like they say, Ursaring, Snorlax, Moltres, Moltres and whatnot. But Raikou's on our strain. It's most likely going to be Raikou 5. But it's pretty obvious what to do here, as Donphan absolutely smashes every Raikou. Like, half the sets can't even touch Raikou at all. And it reveals the Raikou 2. So Raikou 2 does not have a high risk, high return move. Raikou 2 is... the goofy Rain Dance, Thunder, Reflect, Double Team. And I got the Quick Claw Earthquake. Kind of a big deal, actually, that I got the Quick Claw there. Because it does have Reflect. It was probably going to go for Reflect. And also, they can't double team PP stall valuable Earthquake PP. As I only have 5 Earthquakes to hit versus a Pressure Raikou. But they sent out Breloom second. Fortress, they're saying, most likely Pokemon. But Breloom second. It has to be a Breloom with a high risk, high return move. Well, all Brelooms have a high risk, high return move. It's guaranteed not Breloom 2 though, because Breloom 2 has the Bright Powder, which Raikou 2 also has. So, we're in an interesting situation. Now, normally when you see a Breloom, it tends to be not very troublesome, given that Breloom Focus Punch is so strong that they tend to see a kill a lot of the times, and it spams it. But I do have a Pokemon that will not completely fold the Focus Punch here, so there is fear of the Spore shenanigans. Suicune also is a Pokemon that doesn't like seeing this Breloom. Of course, Dragonite outspeeds and will OHKO every Breloom, but I don't want to directly switch into it fearing a possible Spore, so a little bit of an awkward situation here. Also, you got to think about the possible Breloom 1. Technically, isn't it more likely to be Breloom 3 or 4 since they do have the Grass move Spore? But let's talk about Breloom 1. Breloom 1 would likely counter here. Sky Uppercut, Mach Punch does Dilly Squat. But the thing is, I can Earthquake versus it, and I don't drop the counter. Like, let's take a look-sees, man. So Donphan versus Breloom 1. We'll do 51 to 60, but I mean 141 hit points max. Counter will do double that, and Donphan has 384 hit points. So even I mean a crit would OHKO the Breloom, and then I won't even completely drop the counter. So like staying in versus Donphan Breloom 1 and countering is not a bad situation for me really at all. Like, Donphan will still be in a reasonably okay amount of HP. So given that, I would trust Suicune more so in a 1v1 situation. And Donphan doesn't just completely fold to this Pokemon. I am going to opt to stay in here with this, even if Donphan does go down to Spore Focus Punch shenanigans. to get the safe Dragonite switch. I wouldn't even risk going into Dragonite on Focus Punch. I would preserve Dragonite's HP. So yeah, I'm gonna decide on the decision that I'm gonna make. I'm gonna let Donphan. If it gets spored, it gets spored. But I'm gonna Earthquake with Donphan here. But this is definitely an interesting situation. Like, there's an you can definitely make the option of like going to Suicune here, because even like Suicune doesn't take that much from Focus Punch. Like bulky Suicune is a whole nother beast. But yeah, I am gonna Earthquake here. We outspeed, so we either got the Quick Claw here or Breloom went for the counter, but we will not drop. Rain is up, true. I do have in my notes Rain was indeed up, so at least I was counting the Rain turns. Oh yeah, Rain up was actually a big deal that I never got to talk about. Because that meant if Rain was up, Dragonite doesn't even OHKO Breloom since Rain was up. And I don't want to risk Dragon Claw Effect Spore. So I needed the chip anyways. But here, since it's Breloom 1, it can't hit Dragonite hard at all. So if it counters again, Sky Uppercut doesn't kill here. If it counters again, that means Dragonite got the free switch. And we got the damage to where Flamethrower, even under Rain, kills. But yeah, Dragon Claw does 94 to 112, but there's no reason to risk the there's no reason to risk the Effect Spore. But yeah, Rain boosted Surf kills, Flamethrower still kills now. And Dragonite switch is very, very safe here. Breloom 1 reveal means the most likely last. They're saying Fortress and Miltank, right? They're saying Snorlax, Ursaring, Fortress, Golem, Miltank. Most likely last. But Dragonite's switch is 100% safe here. As you see, I'm doing the algorithm. Using the algorithm as well. The Factory Buddy, made by Dave. It's kind of it's very, very funny because like when I started this run, like the Factory Buddy was like at its beginning stages, and I was like one of the first people to use it. And I used it starting in round 6, I think. And for some reason, it's just a crazy coincidence that I haven't lost in this run yet. Using the Factory Buddy. But I mean, the Factory Buddy definitely, you can definitely fall into a trap using it. Thinking that a certain set is gonna come out when it actually was the low percent chance. That's actually happened in this run. But there's also a moment in this run where it actually helped me out. I don't remember which round, but I did get the switch in the Dragonite on the Breloom when it countered, and we ran into Typhlosion last Pokemon. Typhlosion, not too much of a problem. High risk, high return means that this has to be Typhlosion 3 or Typhlosion 4, but Typhlosion 3 cannot touch me at all, being Reversal, Endure, Earthquake, Overheat, and then Typhlosion 4 is slower than me and really can't touch me either. Overheat, Thunder Punch, Earthquake, Crush Claw. Surf damage output versus this. Oh, I crit. I don't think that OHKO. It was a roll to OHKO. It did 94 to 110. Similar to, I mean, same roll as like Charizard from earlier, since Charizard and Typhlosion have the same stats. Now, funnily, when I wrote in my notes because I definitely was tired. I mean, I was basically 6 hours into this, but I wrote in my notes that it could have been both Typhlosion 3 or Typhlosion 4, but it's actually guaranteed Typhlosion 4 because Typhlosion 3 is faster than my Dragonite. So it was Typhlosion 4 there, and there we go, man. Round 17 has been won. Not only that, of course, winning that first battle meant that I was able to surpass Donnelly fans' former world record of 112. So 119 wins in the Battle Factory. It's actually 120 now because I accidentally entered round 18 watching an NBA game, but like it looks so beautiful, man. Having 119 in both level 50 and open level. I love the symmetry there. 5 less swaps. It's kind of cool that the swaps are kind of around the same level. But yeah, that's gonna be it, man. The recording, I finally got to get to this, and we got concrete evidence, and just overall, finally got to hear my thought process about this. But yeah, that's gonna be it, man. I will post my battle 120. It was an hour, but yeah, that's it. Goodbye.